Well, what a difference fluking your way to a Champions League win can make. All of a sudden, I'm a top caliber, top tier European football manager, and I've fallen on my feet, leaving Spurs after less than a year to become the new manager at Barcelona. Very, very exciting times. Yes, I've had to take a slight pay cut to come here, but if you've been watching the Tottenham section of this series, which is all available on a playlist down below, you will have seen just how close I got to the sack over the last few days. So to me, taking a small pay cut is absolutely fine, especially when we're still dealing with absolute mega money. I am still getting paid in the region of £5 million a year to manage Barcelona, and I believe Barcelona have probably got a little bit more reputation and caliber than Tottenham, despite Tottenham, of course, being the current European champions. So here's your confirmation that Barcelona have hired me as the new manager, as per the Barcelona Football Chronicle, well known as probably the most reliable source of football news that there is, in a move which is sure to spark plenty of heated debate. I imagine the comment section has had a little bit of that in over the last day or so. Kevin Chapman has left Tottenham, sorry. A little bit of a look into the future. Kevin Chapman has left Tottenham to join Barcelona. He arrives with a record of 221 wins, 83 draws, and 113 defeats in his career. He's also won a league title, which I think was the National League North. And a cup, which was the Champions League. That is a little bit more impressive. A cup. Could we big that up a little bit more, please? Barcelona Football Chronicle. His first game in charge will be against Real Madrid in La Liga on the 18th of August. Baptism of fire right there. And I will face pressure to bring immediate success to Camp Nou, having stepped up from his previous standing to take sole. Do they think I was joint manager before? Why does Football Manager do this? I was Spurs manager before. That's not the same as joint Barcelona manager, I don't think. And I'll need to hit the ground running if I'm to win over those who believe that his appointment is a questionable decision, which is probably a few people. So this fella was supposed to be the favourite, but I got the job. No. Spurs are looking for a new manager. Serves them right for not treating me good. Let's play the new intro and crack on at Barcelona, Club 4. Oh, we've had to squeeze one more panel into the intro. That means we are now officially one club away from one of my favourite points of Non-League Legend every year, when everyone starts telling me in the comments section that I forgot to add a club. The template only goes up to 4 clubs. When we move again, it's not because I've forgotten. And who knows, maybe we won't move again. Maybe Barcelona will be our forever home, our forever club, and we will become legends right here. Because, of course, that is the goal of the series. I want to become a legend, and hopefully we'll do that here in Barcelona. But first, of course, we need to find somewhere to live, which by tradition means heading to this non-specific mortgage calculator. Still no sponsorships available, apparently, and based on my new salary of £92,000 a week at Barcelona, I'm able to borrow just shy of £23 million. I think that will probably get the job done. And because Barcelona is a big, fancy European city, they're actually on Rightmove as well. I realise not every house available for sale in Barcelona will be in English on Rightmove, but I don't need to see everyone. I just need to see the fancy ones. We could spend almost our entire budget on what just looks like a house at the side of the road, but I'm drawn to this one below because it's got a swimming pool in the picture, plus it's half the price. Keep some powder dry. We spent a lot of money on our London house and spent like 8 months at Tottenham. Let's buy a budget €13 million house in Barcelona before we know that we're going to be here forever. It's a stone house, 6 bed, 6 bath, lots of feet. I mean, I'm a big fan of lots of feet, and a private swimming pool. Look at it. Look at that swimming pool. Look at these. These are outdoor chairs. We've not even got inside the castle doors yet. The last time I moved to a castle in Europe, it didn't end well, but let's just assume it's just the doors that are castle-like. But there's so many outdoor seats. Seats, of course, being the sign of wealth. That doesn't know if it's a room or a garage or a shed or whatever it is. What it does know is it's absolutely full of chairs. That looks like, I mean, that's a dining room with a massive sofa in. Chairs galore. There's no TV in there, which is alarming. We'll have to sort that out. And that looks like a ladder rather than a staircase. You'd think for £12 million, they could put a proper staircase. There we go. There's your proper staircase. Although you wouldn't want to, imagine falling down those stairs. I am something of a clumsy oaf. If you fall down those marble stairs onto this marble floor, I think you're going to end up with a significant injury, which is something I probably need to be aware of. But I guess if you do stumble down the stairs, there's yet more chairs to sit on when you get to the bottom to gather your breath. That looks like a McDonald's kitchen, not a kitchen in a house. There's far too much chrome there. That is a swimming pool. So we've got an outdoor swimming pool plus an indoor swimming pool plus bubbles, private bubbles. I love a sauna and a steam room. These are better facilities than at my gym. Good. And on that note, right, we found the telly. We might need to move that. I don't want to have to come and run on the treadmill every time I want to watch the telly, but at least we now know there is a telly somewhere in this house. More really dangerous, scary-looking stairs. Apparently, the stairs are so dangerous, my dog wanted to warn me about them, even though he was making his "there's someone at the front door" noise when there's nobody there. Hold on. That's a weird-looking bed. Spain's a weird place. Look at all these chairs. There's another telly. We've found a TV room. This will do, boys and girls. This probably gets the job done. Oh, it really does look quite castle-like in places, which is an outdoor kitchen. Oh, I'm here forever. I am Barcelona man for life. Also worth checking this as well, because not only am I going to be having to fly back and forth between London and Barcelona a couple of times to just, you know, sort out the move to my new mansion, but I'm going to have to do a match day vlog over there as well. So a 2-hour flight from £77. Guess I need to be booking a Barcelona match. But now we've found somewhere to live and we've confirmed I am going to be match day vlogging every team in Non-League to Legend this year, as promised, to the point that I am going to a Spurs match this weekend, even though I have just done Spurs dirty. To be fair, I won in the Champions League, spent all their money and then left. I think they're fine. I am at Spurs West Ham this weekend. I think I'm going to do Barcelona Valencia as well. So lots of match day vlog content coming to the channel in the near future. But for now, let's have a look at the state this Barcelona team is in. There was talk of financial trouble when I was going through the interview process, but these budgets suggest otherwise. These are Manchester City-sized budgets with a 4.5-star reputation, a media prediction of a second-place finish, nearly a £6 million a week wage budget, 65 million-ish as transfer budget. It looks like it's a Barcelona squad that hasn't had a lot of investment in it during the course of this non-league to legend save. There's a lot of players there who are either new gens or who were here at the start of the save. There's not like a collect. Normally you would see a collection of wonder kids that arrive over the years. It looks very much like they've just been selling off players like Spurs, for example, had Andreas Christensen. They've kept the core in midfield of De Jong, Gavi and Pedri. They've kept Ferran Torres and Ansu Fati up front, and they've kept some of the defenders. It doesn't look like there's really been any money spent on this Barcelona team for a long, long time. So I guess with £65 million, that's my job. Start spending some money and just freshening up this squad a little bit. They want me to bring in young players under the age of 23, play possession football, nice proper Barcelona football. Probably can't come here and gegenpress. That might not go down very well with the locals. They want me to grow the club's reputation whilst working within the budget, selling players for a profit, starting to move on these older players, and then challenge for the Champions League, which I think means get to like the semi-finals, final maybe, whilst qualifying for the Champions League again through the league and growing the club's reputation with a view to winning it all next season. So they don't want much, do they? Goodness me. Right. Yeah, we'll do that meeting every month. That seems fair enough. Let's have a little look. We can take that EU national thing off. That's a hangover from my Twitch save where we're in Switzerland. And oh, goodness me, that's a pain in the trousers, the EU national thing. I don't think it's as much of an issue here in Spain. So if we have a look, it's not quite the state Spurs we're in. You've got a few older players, Kessie, De Jong, Dembele, Koundé, Araujo. I mean, all of these guys, this is probably the batch of players that we're going to look to move on over the course of the next year or two. We don't need to just chuck them all out now. Maybe Dembele can be chucked out immediately because he's down to being a 3-star player at 33 years old. But the likes of Kessie, De Jong, Koundé, they can probably stick around for a little while. And then young up-and-coming, well, I guess they're not up-and-coming anymore. Gavi's 25, Pedri's 27. Obviously, you don't need to do much to the midfield other than just build it around those two. Ansu Fati at 27 looks like he's turned into a nice, established, presumably injury-free footballer. There you go. He should say his best season of his career with 12 goals last season. But it does seem like it's a squad that's a little thin on first-team quality players. You get down to sort of this level where you've got a declining Kessie, Dembele, and then a bunch of nobodies, really. There's not a lot here in terms of depth. Finance-wise, the club's £81 million in the red and has another 300-ish million of loans that are hangovers from the 2021 troubles that are going to be in place for the next 11 years or so. So it's a significant debt. They're actually not in any transfer debt. They're negative. The red in brackets on there means they've actually got a positive transfer debt. They're owed £40 million from transfers. So we can run up a little bit of transfer debt and not worry that we're causing too much in the way of problems there for the club. We're obviously not going to go absolutely bonkers. But wage budget-wise, there's nearly £1 million spare there. There's a very generous transfer budget. It looks like it's a club that's kind of coming out the other side of its recovery period. It seems like it's been a number of years of belt tightening and actually acting relatively sensibly, not throwing loads of money around for 7 or 8 years. But now they want things to change. And they've brought in the man. They thought, right, we need someone to come around and throw a load of money around. Who do we need for that? Let's go and find Kev. They've not spent more than like £30 million on a player for ever, really. I mean, you're going back to, that was the last season they spent significant money, a couple of £100 million that summer. But I mean, the caliber of player is probably questionable. My boy Anal, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Luis Diaz. I mean, we're looking for a different caliber of player to these boys, I think, is what we're aiming to do. So, tactics-wise, I guess if we're Barcelona, we've got to do something tiki-taka-y, haven't we? It probably is the law when you're at Barcelona. I don't know if we're going to do a normal tiki-taka or a vertical tiki-taka. I've always leaned towards the vertical tiki-taka in the past. Now we're a more direct approach than the standard tiki-taka. We don't really have wide players. That recommended 11 was a diamond, wasn't it? So maybe a vertical tiki-taka in some kind of diamond shape makes sense. There's not a huge amount in the way of wide players knocking around here. So maybe we start there. There you go. That's the recommended tactic right there. We could always have not a gegenpress, a normal tiki-taka in like a more normal Barcelona-y shape. I would call the 4-3-3 more of a normal Barcelona shape. Maybe we look to move towards that, but right now perhaps we have to work with this with a view to ending up here a little bit further down the line. What I don't want to do is just come in and do a 4-2-3-1 gegenpress, because we've done that at Preston, we've done that at Tottenham. We want to do some different things. Right, a goalkeeper is desperately needed. There basically isn't one. This guy looks like he's going to be great. He's got 5 stars of potential, but he's only 2 stars currently. I don't think it's time for him to be our first choice goalkeeper. We need to bring somebody in to cover us for the next few years. At left back, we've got Balde at 26. That'll do. That's fine. He can be our starting left back for a while. And there's a few players who can kind of sort of maybe cover for him. And then at right back, of course, they've just signed Taylor Bullitt, who we know all about from Tottenham. So we know he's a good player. The only reason we wanted rid of him is because of how much money he was on. He's actually on a lot less money here than we were paying him at Spurs. So I've got no qualms at all about having him as my starting right back, which frees Koundé up to play centre back alongside Araujo. They're both older, but we don't really have much in the way of backup. So we need at least one up and coming decent centre back. We've got this guy, Oscar Terma, who's got decent. I mean, he's not going to get the job done, is he? We could probably bid off a lot of these fringe players to free up some more money and maybe bring in a couple of younger up-and-coming centre-backs. The likes of somebody like Valente would be ideal here, but I imagine he's going to be far too expensive for what we're going to be working with here. At the base of the midfield, obviously, we go with Frankie de Jong. Frankie de Jong can just sit in there, pull all the strings as the playmaker, and then in central midfield, we could probably go with Gavi and Kessie, with Gavi a little bit more further forward, and then Pedri in behind up front. So you're trying to get both Gavi and Pedri in attacking positions as much as possible. They're both players I've used quite a lot on other versions of FM, and you want them both attacking a lot. in that 4-2, in that 4-3-3 we were looking at before, you're very much going to have them sat here and here, literally doing those kind of roles. Probably have you'd have De Jong, Gavi, Pedri, and have all three of them just doing fancy playmaker things. I don't know if it would work, but it would certainly look pretty. And then further forward, the argument is, do we actually have a striker, or have we just got a bunch of wingers? Because if we're doing the diamond, I guess you play Torres and Fati as your front two. There's a pretty strong argument here that you actually push both of these guys out wide and sign a proper striker to play through the middle and make that priority number one. So if we go with that as our main tactic, and then, oh, what have I done there? Get that off. And then you can kind of put Torres out there, maybe Fati out here, and then sign a proper centre forward to play through the middle. There's plenty that can be done. There's a lot of fringe rubbish that we can move on as well. We do have to be conscious of the fact it's already the 16th of July, although the Spanish League starts a little later than in England. So we've got about a month. We haven't got any pre-season friendlies arranged, so we need to push on with that as well. But we've... I think we've got the basis of something that could end up pretty useful here. This is a team that finished third in La Liga last year, so not the best of seasons last time out. Well off the pace from Athletic Club. Wow, okay. Athletic Bilbao winning the league last year is a little bit of a surprise. Real Madrid second, 1 point behind, and then it's us and Atletico Madrid behind them. But 4 places to qualify for the Champions League. We're definitely going to be in one of them unless things go desperately wrong. I think I know what I want to do. So my job now is to go away and do it. And then we'll be back on Monday and I'll show you what I've done. We'll have an update on the transfers and we'll play. I mean, look at that for a start to the season. We've got Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, and then Athletic Bilbao. I mean, that's probably Monday's and Tuesday's videos there. We'll do transfers and Real Madrid on Monday, Atletico and Athletic Bilbao on Tuesday. And then by the end of Tuesday, we'll know if I'm going to get fired by September or not. Because that could be a devastatingly bad start to the season. But fingers crossed, it'll all be fine. Let me know down in the comments what you do with this squad and this money. I think we've got plenty here to be working with. So hopefully everyone's very happy with the transfers when I show them to you next week. If you have enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.